This three-time WKBF national champion devastated the division in New Zealand and strung together a 32-fight winning streak. Please welcome Israel Adesanya.
"大家好，老师从业中医男科30余年，帮助了数千名海内外华人朋友通过中药调理重回男性雄风。如果你也存在房事时间短、勃起无力、硬度差、中途疲软、肾虚、前列腺炎等问题，现在就加中医老师微信574-993-200，纯中药，1人1方，治根治本，帮助你持续坚挺20至40分钟。补肾壮阳，延时助勃，彻底告别快男软男。记住微信574-993-200。
Move and be unorthodox, throw punches from different angles, and keep that moving. And he doesn't think Jason Wilnis can hit him.
Says I'm a matador in there, and when the bull charges, I'll just move the cape. And Jason Wilnis certainly is a bull in there.
He is, and Jason Wilnis is that pressure fighter, so Adesanya plans on using his ankles, his movement, and not being that standing target and letting Wilnis attack his body and use his low kicks.
Adesanya, originally from the country of Nigeria, he was very excited to learn that this fight is being broadcast in his home country, and should he win tonight, promises to have a huge parade in downtown Lagos, Nigeria. Can you imagine what that scene would look like?
He took the belt from Simon Marcus at Glory 33, New Jersey last fall and comes in on a 3-fight winning streak. Here is Jason Wilnis.
He is through and through Dutch style. Joe, how would you explain or describe exactly what that is?
He's a phenomenal pressure fighter, one of the best pressure fighters in kickboxing. He's gonna use a high guard defense, use it to push you against the ropes, unload vicious power punches and low kicks. And Israel feels he has the plan, but it's Wilnis and his team that said, hey, he has the plan, but he hasn't been hit by me. He hasn't felt my power, so keep thinking you have the plan to beat me. Wait till I hit you.
Jason Wilnis is cornered. One of his trainers told us that Wilnis hit him so hard when he was holding pads, it knocked his shoulder out of socket. Wilnis, known as Psycho, and he can hit harder than pretty much anyone in this organization, pound for pound. Here's the way these two stack up. Wilnis out of the Netherlands, Israel Adesanya from New Zealand. Height and reach will be a big factor, at least if Adesanya has anything to say about it.
Adesanya wants to keep Wilnis at a distance. He doesn't want to let Wilnis get on the inside and let those power punches and vicious body shots go, because let me tell you, once Wilnis gets on the inside, he's very tough to beat.
Here's our fight metric report. Knockdown ratio. Adesanya has never been knocked down, but he's only had 2 Glory fights. The championship rules are in effect. 5 rounds, 3 minutes each. Punches, kicks, knees, the legal strikes. 3 knockdowns in a round or 4 in the fight, and it will be stopped. Only the doctor or the referee can stop a championship fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your main event of the evening. 5 rounds for the Glory Middleweight Championship of the World, pitting Dutch-style kickboxing up against a self-proclaimed style bender from the South Pacific. This bout sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. And at the opening bell, your referee is John McCarthy. From the Novo to New Zealand, Glory kickboxing fans are watching around the world. world. It's time for glory. Let's meet the challengers. Standing on my right and fighting out of the black corner. He is a Glory Contender Tournament champion who has won 18 of his last 19 starts. His professional record, 65 wins with just 3 losses. 27 of those wins by knockout. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, 1.90 meters, and he weighed in at 185 1/2 pounds, 84.2 kilos. Fighting tonight out of New Zealand by way of Nigeria, here is the last stylebender, Israel Adesanya. His opponent, fighting out of the white corner, makes his 11th Glory start and makes the first defense of the belt. His record, 29 wins with 6 losses, 1 bout scored even, 8 of those wins by knockout. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, 1.85 meters, and he weighed in at fight time at an even 185 pounds, 83.9 kilos. He fights tonight out of Utrecht, the Netherlands. Ladies and gentlemen, the reigning and defending Glory middleweight champion of the world, Jason Psycho Wilness. And once again, your referee in charge, Big John McCarthy.
Good luck.
So pick your style. Do you want to be like water, Israel Adesanya, or do you want to be like a brick, Jason Wilness? 2 completely contrasting styles in the same sport for the middleweight championship of the world. Big John McCarthy, our referee. 5 3-minute rounds. Adesanya in the black gloves, the champion Wilness wearing white.
You're going to see Wilness really try to use his counter-striking, and there he goes with that inside low kick. But you can expect Wilness to pick the fight up as the rounds go on. So he's going to try to use his pressure and counter-fighting, and as the rounds progress, you'll see him start opening up with some big punches.
Yeah, Wilness, normally a slow starter. He started very slow against Simon Marcus, but then in the second round, completely turned the fight on its head, scoring a knockout victory to become the middleweight champion.
Well, Wilness's coach, Danny DeVries from Coliseum Gym, said that was their plan. Set it up, wait for the first 2 rounds, find your pressure, find your range, and then let those big power punching go.
Adesanya trying to read the situation. Spinning heel kick misses.
He's trying to... There's a lot of kick versus punch here. It seems like Adesanya really wants to stay long with his punches and avoid those counter low kicks. So he's constantly switching stances, making it very difficult for Wilness to figure out his timing and his distance.
In meeting Israel Adesanya, one of the first things I noticed was the size of his hands. They are massive, huge. It's like grabbing a bunch of bananas. Made me feel like a child, Joe. He's a big boy for this division, that's for sure. And will try and use that height and reach advantage for an advantage against Jason Wilness.
Both guys are actually starting really relaxed. It seems like it's the punching versus kicks. Let's see if those counter low kicks from Wilness can slow down that boxing of Adesanya.
If this does go the full 5 rounds, who do you give the edge to?
Well, both are staying really relaxed. Adesanya has a very good relaxed style, but Wilness seems to get better and more aggressive as the fight goes on. Still, both have an advantage in the later rounds.
Look at the intensity on the face of Adesanya. He's trying to solve a puzzle.
He's just focused in, and what he's doing is he's using his jab to blind Wilness, and then he mixes a nice straight through the body. Wellness has a high shield defense, which kind of blocks his head but leaves his body open. So it looks like Adesanya is really trying to focus on body attacks.
So very fast round one. And a good start for the challenger, Israel Adesanya. Let's take a look at the middleweight rankings as they stand right now. Of course, Wellness the champion. Simon Marcus, who's in attendance tonight, is the #1 contender at this moment, but it's Israel Adesanya who earned this title shot by winning a tournament. And as you look down there, you see a couple of Americans. Mike Lemaire, who just lost to Warren Thompson, is 7th. Speaking of Simon Marcus, I said he's in attendance. There he is on the left, the former middleweight champion from Canada. I know you're very close to him.
Yeah, Simon is part of a little bit of the training community, which we all get together. We're all within a close distance, but let me tell you, I know Simon is very motivated at getting back in there and getting his middleweight title back.
I don't think he cares who he fights next. He just wants to fight for the title next.
Step on back.
Might get that opportunity, but right now all eyes on Jason Wellness, the champion in the white gloves, Israel Adesanya wearing black.
Wellness picked it up near the end of that round, so let's see if he continues that pace and keep using those low kicks.
Adesanya told us he gets better the longer a fight goes, but that's the same thing you could say about Jason Wellness as well. Body kick connected from Adesanya.
It's those counter low kicks of Wellness that seem to be doing a lot of damage, because he's having a hard time getting inside with those long punches of Adesanya, but those counter low kicks are doing a very good job.
Adesanya feels he's the man that can take Glory and this middleweight division to the next level. He knows how to talk on the microphone. He's flashy, he's fly, he's young, and he is spectacular when he wants to be.
He brings a lot of confidence in,
Get it up, Biz.
which is what you need in this sport.
Adesanya not too impressed with Jason Wellness. Said, I've fought 20 guys like him. He's nothing special. He's never fought someone quite like me.
Good body shot by Adesanya.
Look how quick Adesanya switches stances. Southpaw, orthodox, southpaw, orthodox.
He has to because of those low kicks from Wellness. That's why he's constantly switching stances to make it difficult for Wellness to establish a constant low kick.
And then scissor kick from Adesanya, who's getting more and more comfortable.
But what Adesanya is doing that's making him very successful is he's staying active. He's trying to pin the defense of Wellness so to shut down those hands.
A little shuffle step now. And Israel eats a right hand. That'll stop the shuffle.
You can't get too confident, and that's what we saw where Wellness was shining. When Simon got too confident with his head movement, Wellness was able to get on the inside and throw some hooks and won him his world title.
Jason Wellness dedicating tonight's performance to his father who recently died. But one of the moments that Wellness will always have with him is that his dad was able to see him win a middleweight championship before he passed. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the Wellness family, including Jason's brother Jafar, who's watching right now back in the Netherlands.
Yeah, those two have traveled and fought together, and they have Jafar at home taking care of the family in the gym.
But Wellness said he can't get too emotional. He can't think about that while he's fighting. He needs to stay even keeled.
Good knee by Adesanya, but good counter.
And there's some spectacular offense from Israel Adesanya.
But that's what Wellness has to do. He's waiting to the end of the round to put the pressure on. But Adesanya is just doing a great job on the outside, staying long.
Fight metric statistics are extremely close right now. Wellness has landed 46 strikes, Adesanya 48. Joe, how do you have it through two?
Well, it's very close, and I just think it's Adesanya who's doing a good job at slowing the output of Wellness, but those counter low kicks seem to be doing a lot of damage for Wellness, which could be scoring the fight his way, and that was the beautiful left hook to the liver by Adesanya. But you see Wellness constantly countering back, so the fight is a lot closer than most people think, because it's Wilnis's counter-fighting that's doing a great job at keeping him in this fight. But the style bender constantly coming in at new angles, flashing kicks, and let's see what he has in this third round. Can he keep that pace? Can he keep Wilnis from throwing? We'll see.
Shades of Sanchai perhaps there from Adesanya.
That's Sanchai's famous kick.
So round 3 of a scheduled 5. This is for the middleweight championship of the world. Israel Adesanya, just his 3rd glory fight. He won his first 2, winning the contender tournament to get this opportunity, and he's trying to make the most of it.
Well, this is where Wilnis's camp said they're going to start picking up the pace, and I feel that Wilnis does need to be a little bit more active. He can't wait too long. He's got to pressure a little bit more and be a little bit more active. Good counter left hook. That's what he needs to do. Counter back in combinations.
Do you like the way that Adesanya keeps his hands low? Obviously, that's not what you're teaching your students to do back in Toronto.
Well, he's very good at controlling distance, and that's why he's very effective. He knows his range, he knows his distance, and that's why he can keep his hands down a little bit. But what Adesanya does really well is, with his hands down, he punches and jabs at different angles, which makes it hard for Wilnis to see where it's coming from.
Wilnis with 37 strikes to the leg. He hasn't kicked anywhere else, has been going for that base.
We saw good counter combinations where he's throwing 2-3 punch counters, and that's how he caught Simon Marcus, and I think this is what he has to do in these later rounds.
Neither man can feel too confident that they won one or both of the first 2 rounds. No one has been overwhelming for sure, but more flashy, more spectacular looking Israel Adesanya.
It's the difference in styles.
Calling away now Wilnis before throwing a power punch. He needed the body, and Wilnis was waiting for it and threw a right hand.
Yeah, he connected with that.
Adesanya's got lightning quick hands, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has wicked punches that he throws below the sideline, so he's trying to slip that uppercut or that long low jab from the outside to. But it's that right hand, the counter right hand of Wilnis, that's doing a lot of damage now. Caught him twice with it. 3 times now.
More punches are beginning to land for Wilnis.
He found that right hand. So,
Wilnis's punches are a lot more short and compact.
Yeah, he's getting on the inside, and you're going to expect in this last little bit where I can see Wilnis throwing a little bit more behind. He seems to be winning the end of each round.
Wilnis said he's in the condition of his life, the best condition, and right now he's not even breathing too heavy at the end of 3 rounds as we enter the championship rounds.
And it's still very close to call, and it's very impressive to see it. Just like Wilnis's camp said, they're going to start picking up the volume in the later rounds, and there's that right hand from Wilnis that's been his best shot that he found in that 3rd round, and he found it about 4 or 5 times.
It looked like Adesanya was enjoying the look of his handiwork with that kick to the body. Before you knew it, he was eating a right hand.
That's what makes Wilnis so dangerous. You think you're out of range, but he comes forward and throws those big counter hooks, and when he follows them, that's what makes him so dangerous. And he seems to be, his strategy is to win the end of each round, and that's what he's doing, but those first 2 rounds can go either way. So, championship rounds for this belt.
Wilnis, 26 years old. 5 rounds are great for me, he said. I'm a slow starter. I get better with each round. And the 3rd round was his best round. Round 4 of the scheduled 5. Wilnis in the white gloves, Adesanya in the black. Total strikes landed almost identical right now. 73 for Wilnis, 71 for Adesanya.
The big difference is Adesanya is a little bit more active, but it seems like Wilnis's shots are doing a lot more damage. I'd like to see Adesanya go back to that left hook to the body.
The right hand got in for Adesanya.
Let go.
That's more openings. He can land a counter punch.
There's Wilnis trying that right hand again over the jab of Adesanya.
You can hit Wilnis. It's not that hard. But the question is, can you handle him hitting you?
Yeah, if you're going to hit him, he's going to come back and counter with something. And he's going to try to hit you harder. And there's that right hand that he found success with in the third round. I like those knees from Adesanya. I think that's a perfect strategy, but he's got to cover his head because he knows punches from Congo are following.
Nice knee from Adesanya. Look at the kick distribution. Wilnis has one target and one target only, the legs.
Yeah, he's trying to slow down that outside movement. Ooh. They're starting to add up. I'd like to see Wilnis throw his right low kick when Adesanya's on an orthodox. His legs wide open for a right low kick.
Now both men beginning to open up their offense a little bit. It's a close round 4.
The hands are free. Fight through it. Come on.
Still leaving the advantage in this
Adesanya.
Yeah, I think Wilnis has the advantage because of damage, and those low kicks are starting to add up and start to show signs when Israel's legs getting swiped out under him.
Nice uppercut. Adesanya trying to shake the damage out of his legs, staying on his toes.
Very hard to hurt Wilnis. I don't think he has. I've seen him really hurt in his recent fights.
So 1 round to go for the middleweight championship of the world. Let's check in now with Whitney.
Here with Glory superstar Simon Marcus. Simon, what do you think of this fight so far?
Either one who wins is done. Remember, me tell you, sir. Israel or Wilnis. Done.
Either or, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a very exciting match. Can't wait for that. Thank you, Simon.
Done. He's so polite at the end. You're welcome. He was a tough guy for a minute, and then the Canadian manners shone through for Simon Marcus, who will get the winner of this fight.
Well, I'd be curious to see who he thinks is winning this fight because I have it even.
Well, Whitney asked him. Instead, he said it doesn't matter. Whoever it is, they're done.
They're done. But again, you can give these first 2 rounds to Adesanya, where the last 3 and 4, in my opinion, are easily to Wilnis. So it could easily be up to this 5th and final round.
The 5th and final round for the middleweight championship of the world. The champion Wilnis, the challenger Adesanya. Wilnis fighting for his father, in memory of his father, Adesanya, fighting for the country of his birth, Nigeria.
Wilnis seems to be still pretty fresh and constantly pushing the pace.
A nice body kick from Adesanya.
He's landed a few good body shots.
Who will win this round? They could very well win the fight. I said earlier, Adesanya promised to be the man who would
hands are free.
the cape away
Fire out.
from the
Let's go.
bull.
Push
But as
up.
the rounds have progressed, that cape isn't doing much work for him.
It's getting harder and harder. It's easier in the first few rounds, but as Wilnis gets more active, it's making it harder for Adesanya to use his movement. But you have to see, it was just Israel just landed about 4 or 5 punches. So it's that activity of Adesanya could be steering the judges, but everything Wilnis hits hurts.
Nice head movement by Adesanya.
Good way to slip out there. Got under that left hand of Wilnis. I like that straight left from Adesanya from the southpaw, but need to see him put some power behind those shots. Good counter left hook by Wilnis again.
Things are heating up. A minute to go. Who will win the middleweight championship of the world?
We're going to see Wilnis put on a lot of pressure here. If I was Adesanya, I would kind of counter back and be as active as possible.
Adesanya felt that defense would win this fight, but right now, he may need to dig down in his offensive well.
A lot of the judges looking at those low kicks as doing damage, and they are. So even though Adesanya is landing 3-4 punches, one of Wilnis's low kicks seems to be doing more damage.
Knee to the rib cage for Adesanya. 30 seconds to go. Oh, and a left hand connects, and Adesanya lowers his head.
Well, this is where Wilnis should shine. Adesanya needs to keep tight. There's only 10 seconds left.
10 seconds to go now. Will they open up? Another close round. It could go either way, ladies and gentlemen. Who is the middleweight champion? It's low kicks versus spectacular offense. That's what it boils down to. You appreciate the fundamentals or the flash?
Yeah, it's that volume striking. It was Adesanya stayed busy. He stayed active throughout the whole fight, but everything Wilnis threw had power behind it. Every low kick he threw was doing damage. Every counter left hook he was throwing was doing damage. So it's a very tough fight to score. Power versus volume.
All the pound shots. One low kick every 10 shots.
Keep in mind, this is just the third fight for Israel Adesanya in glory. What a rise it would be, a meteoric rise, if he were to win the middleweight championship of the world in just his third fight. Simon Marcus setting up there who wins.
And I know Adesanya wants that rematch with Simon. They fought a long time ago where Simon Marcus was able to win an extra round decision in a tournament. But I know Marcus also wants Wilnis.
He's fought both men before. Beat Adesanya, lost in spectacular fashion to Jason Wilnis this last year. He gets the winner, but who is the winner, Joe? What's your gut tell you?
Well, my gut is the last 3 rounds going to Wilnis, so I'm going to have to give it 3 rounds to 2 to Wilnis. I just think that constant pressure and those low kicks were doing a little bit more damage than that volume punching of Adesanya. But still, very close. It's going down to the judges and what they're looking at.
And the judges aren't supposed to consider who the champion is when they go to that scorecard, but most of them subliminally probably do, meaning you got to take the title from the champion. Did Adesanya do enough?
Well, his first few rounds were his most successful rounds. He was very good at switching his stances, making it a little bit more difficult for Wilnis to land it, and he was able to throw those flashy things. But as the fight progressed, it seemed to be Wilnis in his pressure fighting that did the best job. He was landing some good right hands in the third, and then again in the fourth. But it was those low kicks and that constant pressure of Wilnis that, in my opinion, could have steered it. But again, I have no idea if my unofficial scorecard, both guys put a spectacular fight in. I'm curious to know the decision.
Here are our final statistics. Look at the strike stats. 211 punches thrown by Israel Adesanya. He landed 70 of them. But kicks, 81 to 50 as far as thrown. Do you like the punches better, or do you like the kicks? That may be what the judges have to decide.
And Adesanya did throw some good knees in the beginning of the fight, but look at that damage Wilnis was doing and constantly attacking that leg, where Adesanya tried to capitalize on Wilnis's high guard defense by attacking the body, which he was successful with. Let's see who's the winner.
Who is the winner? Tim Hughes tells us who the middleweight champion of the world Will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 championship rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. Here are the totals. They score this bout 49-46, 48-47, and 48-47. A unanimous decision for your winner. And still Glory Middleweight Champion of the World, Jason Wilness. Here to present the belt, our Chief Executive Officer, John Franklin, and from our Talent Ops Department, Mr. Eric Haycraft.
So he's and still Jason Wilness, your middleweight champion. Whitney Miller with him now.
Jason Wilness, you are still the middleweight champion. How do you feel about your performance tonight?
That's how it is. Aggression, moving forward, showing fighter art. That's what the champion does. Unanimous decision. You can say what you want. I got the belt, baby.
Was there anything about Adesanya's game that surprised you at all?
He's a good fighter, but I had the pressure, you know, so I was the fighter, and that's why they chose me.
You looked relaxed, you looked great. Congratulations on still being the middleweight champ.
So next up for Jason Wilness, a rematch with Simon Marcus, who somehow got into the ring there. He's ready to do it right now.